Where's he gone anyway?
Oh, it's on.
Hey, Paddy. Oh, wait.
Oh, it's on.
You good? You good? Yeah,
Got to wear glasses now.
Yeah, mate, I'm dizzy. How's your prep going? Going alright?
Yeah, flat. Everything's going great at the minute, lad.
What day is it? 23rd?
24th to fight. It's going to go on the 13th. So
He said it right there on camera. Justin Gaethje, the legendary BMF, just declared Paddy Pimblett's career would end the night they fight. Not merely a prediction of defeat, but a full-blown retirement notice. Straight from his mouth, Pimblett, he claims, isn't getting past the third round. This isn't just trash talk, it's a chilling premonition. This clash transforms into a battle for professional existence. Gaethje isn't just aiming for a win, he's aiming to close the book on Pimblett's journey, suggesting a brutality so profound it will force the Liverpudlian into early exit from the sport. The stakes have never been higher.
We thought we were going to be chatting to you about you being messed about, like the John Jones stuff and everything with who's going on for it.
yeah, it was taking the f***ing piss, lad. But
What is your mindset when you're going up to prepare against someone who you have so much respect for, so much admiration for, someone who's, you were saying at the press conference, is like a legend of the sport? What is it like knowing you're going in to face someone like Justin Gaethje?
Yeah, well, this is what you've always wanted to do. You've always wanted, coming up to your career, you want to fight these people that you've always looked up to, and it's sad to say that I think I'm going to retire them. You know what I mean? I'm preparing to beat them up in all facets of MMA, whether it's on the ground or whether it's on the feet. I'm preparing to beat them up. So, as I say, it's sad to say, but I'm more than likely going to retire him. I don't know if he'll fight again. When he
Paddy keeps talking about, I don't think it's going to get past the third round. He's also talking about he wants to stand with you. He's made it pretty clear he hopes to knock you out. He has these visions of knocking you out. And that there is this perception that it's striker you versus him, the grappler, although he's both of you have shown multiple dimensions to your games here. Do you believe him that he actually is looking to make this kind of a striking war, or just keep with you?
I don't even listen to that because we'll see. I'm definitely going to turn him into a wrestler. I promise you that. But we'll see. I mean, he's super dangerous. He absolutely commits 100% of his power into his shots. But yeah, I mean, he does leave himself open, and I have to use my experience and my technical abilities to take advantage of those mistakes. He's going to make mistakes, and you cannot make mistakes at this level. And I have to take advantage of that, when he gets there.
There you go. There you go. Last thing, Justin, what's the message to Paddy Pimblett as we're just, we're a week or so away here from this big battle?
I got nothing for him. It's more for the people that have been behind me the whole time. I'm ready. I have trained my ass off. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. And I knew this was coming for many months. And so I've been preparing for this mentally, physically for a long time. So you're going to get the best me.
Gaethje didn't just stop at predicting retirement. He doubled down, stating unequivocally, "I don't see him getting past the third round." This isn't a vague prophecy, it's a precise deadline issued by one of the sport's most dangerous finishers. He's talking about a complete, decisive halt to Pimblett's momentum, mirroring past finishes. Gaethje envisions a fight that utterly breaks his opponent, leaving no room for a comeback. This isn't about points, it's about a crushing knockout or TKO before the championship rounds. His words paint a picture of a fight designed to inflict maximum damage and deliver an early conclusion. This is a definitive, unyielding statement.
How do you see the fight going?
I don't see him getting past the third round, just like Michael Chandler never. I don't see this going into the championship rounds. I see me finishing him. I've had visions of so many different ways this fight will finish. I've got a funny feeling I'm going to knock him out, lad, which a lot of people are laughing at me for.
Pimblett, however, remains remarkably unfazed by Gaethje's bold pronouncements. For him, this title shot isn't some surreal, unexpected twist. It's an outcome that was always written. He's not surprised, acting with unsettling self-assurance as if the belt has already been around his waist in his mind. This isn't a dream coming true, it's preordained destiny materializing. He frames the shot at UFC Gold not as a sudden breakthrough, but as the natural destination of years of belief and visualization. His perception is that everyone else is simply catching up to what he's always known, projecting quiet confidence that borders on defiance.
Well, Paddy, I mean, fighting for a UFC title, right? I mean, that's kind of like the dream when you get started for everybody in this. Like, is it a little bit of a surreal feeling at all, or has it set in, like, what this is all about?
Could say it's a bit surreal, but I've always said I was going to be in this position, so it's something I've been working towards since I started doing MMA. Before I got in UFC, and I'm still fighting amateur, so I've already envisioned myself with the belt around my waist, so it's just...
Pimblett's confidence extends to his assessment of Gaethje. While acknowledging the BMF as an entertaining fighter, Pimblett's admiration quickly gives way to stark analysis when you break him down. So watch him as an opponent, he revealed. You see a lot of holes in his game. This isn't just casual observation, it's a deliberate intellectual dissection, stripping away the spectacle to expose perceived vulnerabilities. He's not watching a fan favorite, he's studying a flawed opponent, ready to exploit every opening. This shift from admiration to critical analysis highlights Pimblett's ruthless focus, believing Gaethje's all-out style presents more risks than rewards.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, how do you not be a fan of Justin Gaethje? So what's that like to go there? I'm sure you like watching him fight, right?
Yeah, how do you not be a fan of Justin Gaethje? That is your favourite fighter's favourite fighter. Everyone loves watching Justin Gaethje fight, but everyone was fighter entertaining and he puts himself in a war, but when you watch him as a fan it's unbelievable, but then when you break him down to watch him as an opponent you see a lot of holes in his game.
Further driving home his psychological edge, Pimblett made a shocking declaration. He no longer looks up to Gaethje. You don't really get that anymore, he stated, about the awe of facing a legend. You don't look up to anyone anymore. You're all fighting for the same company, and you're working towards the same goal. This isn't just a sign of maturity, it's a direct snub to Gaethje's legendary status, reducing him from an idol to just another peer. By stripping away the mystique, Pimblett aims to neutralize any mental advantage, viewing this fight purely as a professional obstacle rather than a momentous challenge. It's a bold statement of self-belief.
How do you look at him? I mean, is this a guy who is worthy of being in that octagon with you, or is he just a fan favorite?
No, I mean this sport is so crazy, man. These you never know, especially how awkward and how weird he is. With his fighting style. I mean, those things are tough puzzles to figure out, and it's going to be a tough puzzle for me to figure out. I'm going to have, the first part of the first half of the round, first round to try to figure out what the he's doing and how he's moving.
Despite Pimblett's dismissive analysis, Gaethje is far from underestimating his opponent. He candidly admitted Pimblett is super dangerous, acknowledging the Liverpudlian's ability to commit 100% of his power into his shots. However, Gaethje quickly identified the inherent trade-off in such aggression. He does leave himself open. This isn't a simple compliment, but a clear tactical observation. Gaethje plans to leverage his vast experience and technical abilities to exploit these moments, transforming Pimblett's strengths into weaknesses. He sees the chaos, but also the patterns, ready to pounce on any misstep. The veteran's eye has spotted the critical flaw.
Moving, but I got to rely on my technique and my skill level. And I've been in these positions so many times, and 25 minutes in time, so I got to go out there and be perfect. I've convinced myself he's going to hurt me, so my body will go to a very primal place, and ultimately I'll feel no pain. So unless he turns my lights out, I'm going to be in his face.
In a direct challenge to Pimblett's declared striking preference, Gaethje laid out his counter strategy. I'm definitely going to turn him into a wrestler. This isn't a suggestion, it's a promise, a deliberate intention to dictate the terms and drag Pimblett out of his comfort zone. Gaethje knows Pimblett wants a stand-up war, but he plans to force a grappling exchange, flipping the script. This tactical declaration sets up a fascinating clash of wills, where one fighter intends to deny the other's preferred battlefield. It's a psychological gambit, asserting control even before the first bell, warning that Pimblett's striking masterclass might be swiftly derailed.
Do you have to disconnect from that at all? Like, I mean, are you at a point in your career where you don't get that moment anymore? Like, holy shit, I'm in here against Justin Gaethje for a UFC title. Are you past that?
Yeah, you don't really get that anymore, know what I mean? These are all my peers. You don't look up to anyone anymore. They're all fighting for the same company and working towards the same goal, and they're all trying to stop me putting food in my daughter's mouth, so I'm not going to stop that.
Nice. Last thing for me is the fight itself. I mean, you don't want to get in a Justin Gaethje fight, I imagine, right? Or do you? Like, is part of you like, yeah, let's go out there and have a Justin Gaethje fight?
I'd love to have a scrap with him. I would have. In all my years of fighting, including my amateur fights, 35 fights, I've never really had a war. So it'd be nice to finally get one with the king of them, but I don't think.
Pimblett, however, remains resolute, rejecting the idea of being turned into a grappler. "I'm not even planning on taking him down," he declared. "I want to knock them out." This isn't nuanced. It's a direct, uncompromising statement. He acknowledges the grappler versus striker label, but dismisses it, insisting the real gap is in skill. Pimblett wants to meet fire with fire, believing his striking is superior and aiming for a definitive finish on the feet. His goal is to make Gaethje pay for every mistake in a standing battle, ensuring a fireworks display.
This kid makes mistakes, so I'm going to have to make him, pay for these mistakes. He's really good at grappling. I've been working very hard on my grappling, and so I'm not worried about being in these positions. I want to take him into the third, late into the third round, fourth round, fifth round. If I take Chandler or Fiziev into the fourth and fifth rounds, then they might die, and that's what I want to do in this fight. I'm trying to take this kid into the fourth round, and hurt him badly, and make him make terrible mistakes, and take advantage.
Gaethje revealed a deeply primal and unnerving aspect of his mental preparation, stating, "I've convinced myself he's going to hurt me, so my body will go to a very primal place. And ultimately, I feel no pain. This isn't casual, it's a testament to a mindset forged in countless wars, a psychological defense against brutality. By accepting pain, he believes he can transcend it, turning discomfort into a numb, focused drive. Unless he turns my lights out," Gaethje asserts, "I'm going to be in his face." It's a terrifyingly effective strategy, stripping pain of its power and ensuring relentless pressure until the very end.
Been interim champ in the past, Justin, and at that time it was a belt that you really seemed to want nothing to do with. Do you look at it differently this time? Obviously, Ilya has stepped away and he's handling his business. Do you look at this interim belt differently than you did last time?
I would say so, especially because, obviously with age comes wisdom.
Yeah.
And I understand that on paper this makes me a champion.
Yeah.
Again, I fight for money. This is how I get paid, and this is what I do for a living. And when I get this interim belt, they have to pay me as a champion. And so, yeah, it's everything I wanted. At the time, it wasn't about, not appreciating the belt. It was the fact that I had to fight Khabib after the fact. And, I needed all the fire that I could to try to get through that. So, that was a different world.
Despite his conviction for an early finish, Pimblett admitted a personal desire: "I'd love to have a scrap for them." He reflected on his career, noting, "I've never really had a war." This reveals a hidden yearning for the kind of brutal, back-and-forth battle that Gaethje is for. He wouldn't mind finally getting one with the king of them. However, that romantic notion quickly gives way to his pragmatic assessment: "I don't think I'll get that far." The fighter in him might crave the ultimate brawler's test, but the strategist believes the fight will end long before it reaches deep, punishing waters.
What do you think is the best version of Gaethje? Is it the one that's kind of shown up more recently, a bit more composed, kind of tries to jab his way in, or is it the old one who just went a little bit mental and threw leg kicks against everything and just went crazy?
To watch, it's definitely the old one. And I don't know, you'd have to ask him that. That's a question for him.
I remember when he fought Khabib, there was this question of the wrestling, like his wrestling was very good and underrated, but then when it got to the actual grappling stage of things, he was clearly outmatched in that fight. Do you think it's similar where, like, okay, he might be able to stall some of your takedowns, but once you get him down, the levels are just different?
Yeah, once we're down, he's not getting back up. I know he's a very good scrambler, he's got very good wrestling, but people underestimate my wrestling and underestimate my scrambling. And people think I can't wrestle, which makes me laugh. No one thought I was going to take Michael Chandler down and drop him on his head. So we'll just see. We'll see what happens. I'm not even planning on taking him down.
In stark contrast to Pimblett's quick finish aspirations, Gaethje envisions a drawn-out, punishing ordeal. His plan is cold and methodical. "I want to take him into the third round, fourth round, fifth round. This isn't about rushing for a knockout. It's about breaking his opponent mentally and physically over time. He aims to hurt him badly and make him make terrible mistakes and take advantage." Gaethje knows that fatigue and sustained pressure force errors, and he intends to drag Pimblett into deep waters where those mistakes become irreversible. He's not chasing a quick finish, but a systematic deconstruction, forcing Pimblett to survive an escalating nightmare.
With you two, what's the style that will make the fans want to watch this one more than anything else?
Well, I'm going to come out and strike with him. I know people are calling it a grappler versus striker fight, but it's not. There is a very big golfing class difference when it comes to the grappling and the striking, but there's not much of a golfing class difference when it comes to striking. Everyone thinks that he's just going to pick me apart on the feet and he's going to be better on the feet, and I'm going to show everyone the difference between a striker with boxing and leg kicks and an MMA striker, because that's what I am.
You kind of anticipate kind of a violent fight?
Yeah, you're fighting Justin Gaethje.
Getjad's confidence in taking the fight into grappling exchanges is bolstered by his significantly improved ground game. He emphatically stated, "I've been working very hard on my grappling, and so I'm not worried about being in these positions." This dispels any notion that Getjad is solely a striker vulnerable on the mat. He's signaling a complete, well-rounded skill set, removing fear from critical transitions and scrambles. This evolution allows him to pursue his strategy of forcing a wrestling match with Pimblett without hesitation, knowing he can hold his own. The BMF has armed himself for all scenarios, eliminating a perceived weakness.
Just two quick ones from me. Before this fight got made, Justin had kind of given the UFC an ultimatum. It sounded like if he didn't get a title shot, he was going to retire. Do you feel that they kind of appeased him with that, or do you think it just was the way everything worked out with Ilya? Do you think he's deserving for this title shot?
I think it's just the way it panned out, because obviously Ilya's sat out. Arman's a little bitch. They don't really want to give it to him. And then Max and Charles were fighting each other for the BMF belt, so it all just worked out that it was me and Gaethje left. Everyone's saying I don't deserve a title shot, he doesn't deserve a title shot, but I've got the longest win streak in the division. And Justin Gaethje's a perennial contender, he's an absolute legend. So I think they thought it was the right fight to make at the time. You know, we're not running around punching fans, walking out and headbutting fighters at weigh-ins, so you can understand why we're getting it in some.
Pimblett aggressively dismissed the simplistic grappler versus striker narrative. "It's not," he asserted, clarifying there is a very big golfing class difference when it comes to grappling the strike and bump. He believes the public misinterprets the true nature of their skills, especially on the feet. He sees a significant disparity in their ground games, but not in their striking abilities. This rejection of the easy label is a calculated move to shift perception, forcing critics and fans to look beyond surface-level comparisons. Pimblett insists the fight will not be defined by a clash of styles, but by a nuanced assessment of their overall combat prowess.
If you win this fight, do you think the doubts finally stop, or do you think the doubts still
No,
remain?
the goalposts get moved again. Now, before this fight, he's going to get knocked out. I can't strike with him. I'm going to have to take him down straight away. As soon as I win, it's going to be Gaethje's old, Gaethje's past it. So I need to fight someone like Ilya or Arman for people to actually believe, but then I'll fight Ilya, I'll beat Ilya, and it'll be, oh, he was too small, he's a featherweight, he's not a lightweight, you know what I mean? So no matter what I do, it always gets spun. So
Pimblett went even further in his striking claims, stating, "I'm going to show everyone the difference between a striker with boxing and leg kicks and an MMA striker, which is not what I am. This isn't just a boast, it's a precise definition of his perceived advantage." He implies Gaethje, despite his formidable striking, operates within a traditional limited framework. Pimblett sees himself as a more complete, unpredictable MMA striker, positioning himself as the evolution of the stand-up game, promising a broader, more adaptable arsenal. This declaration challenges Gaethje's just striking reputation, suggesting a fundamental difference in their approach that Pimblett believes will prove decisive.
Being American, you know, obviously I would love the opportunity to represent my country on that card.
Yeah, how cool would that be for you personally, Justin, to literally be fighting on the lawn of the frickin' White House?
Yeah, I mean, it would be spectacular, you know, coming from such a small place in this country, getting to represent this country. It's huge for me, you know, it's a big part of, you know, representing my family, my, you know, the state that I come from, my high school. You know, we all loved wearing our mascot, you know, on our, you know, on our chest for our high school or our college. And now I get to represent a country. And so that would be huge for me.
You know, some guys said, you know, I'm going to retire at this age, or it's going to be 40. You're still only 37 years old, first things first. It doesn't sound like you're thinking about retirement at all, though. It sounds like you're still having the time of your life.
As soon as I feel like my younger self would beat my ass now, then it's time. But, you know, I'm not there yet.
Gheveja revealed a significant shift in his perspective regarding the interim championship belt. While he once seemed indifferent, age comes wisdom, he admitted. Now he views it pragmatically. On paper, this makes me a champion. They have to pay me as a champion. This isn't about ego. It's a stark realization of the tangible rewards and professional recognition that come with the title. His past focus on battles has evolved into an understanding of the long-term value and security an interim belt provides. It's a powerful insight into the business side of the sport, showing Gheveja's maturity in recognizing the significance of official champion status for both legacy and livelihood.
Yeah, mate, that's it. Vegas, isn't it? It's the best
Yeah,
option,
you've got
definitely.
to get there more than a week before.
100%.
For Gaethje, a deep well of motivation flows from being doubted and underestimated. He spoke of how quickly fans forget what he's proven over years at the top, embracing that disrespect as potent fuel. This isn't a plea for validation. It's a conscious channeling of external skepticism into internal fire. He thrives on being counted out, using perceived slights as a psychological edge that sharpens his intent in training and translates into damage in the cage. This revelation shows a fighter who doesn't shy away from criticism, but actively converts it into a powerful destructive force, ready to remind everyone of his enduring capability. Pimblett is under no illusions that a victory over Gaethje will silence his critics. He bluntly stated, "No, the goalposts get worse again." He anticipates an immediate shift in the narrative. If he wins, the prevailing sentiment will be Gaethje's old, Gaethje's past it. This cynical foresight reveals his deep understanding of the ever-moving target that is public perception in combat sports. He knows that validation is a fleeting commodity, and every triumph merely ushers in new doubts. For Pimblett, the fight isn't about proving doubters wrong. It's about stacking wins and letting results speak louder than the incessant noise. He's prepared for the inevitable, ongoing battle for respect. Pimblett elaborated on the specific excuses he expects, stating that even if he beats the next big name, the narrative will find new ways to dismiss his achievement. He predicts claims like, "He was too small, he's a featherweight, he's not a lightweight, only me." This illustrates his awareness that no matter the opponent or the performance, critics will always find a caveat. The goalposts are not just moving, they are constantly being re-engineered to diminish his success. For Pimblett, this battle for acceptance seems endless, a frustrating cycle where every victory creates a new reason for skepticism. Gheveja offered a shrewd analysis of Pimblett's wrestling style, specifically its energy expenditure. He pointed to past examples, like Michael Chandler, to illustrate how explosive high-energy grappling can quickly drain stamina. Gheveja noted that wrestling is inherently exhausting, and that Pimblett's approach burns a lot of energy early. This isn't just an observation, it's a foundational element of his strategy. He's dissecting his opponent's physical economy, identifying a critical vulnerability in Pimblett's high-octane bursts. Gheveja understands that these early powerful efforts come at a cost, and he intends to make Pimblett pay that price. Building on his analysis of Pimblett's energy use, Gaethje clearly stated he won't make the same mistake as past opponents. He plans to let the fight play out over the full 25 minutes, confident that his endurance and experience will give him the edge. This confirms his deep water strategy, banking on Pimblett's early intensity, giving way to fatigue. Gaethje isn't looking for a quick kill, he's looking to survive the early storm, weather the explosive bursts, and then capitalize when his opponent's gas tank empties. It's a calculated gamble on his superior conditioning and mental fortitude. Pimblett cut through the political noise surrounding his title shot with his usual blunt honesty. He saw the matchup as a product of timing, not favors. Stating, "I think it's just the way he planned out, because obviously Ilya sat out." He dismissed critics questioning his deservingness, pointing to his longest win streak under the division, and Gaethje's status as a true legend. For Pimblett, this fight is a natural clash of top-tier talent, a product of circumstances, not appeasement. He rejects any notion of preferential treatment, framing the bout as an undeniable logical pairing, asserting his rightful place at the top regardless of external skepticism. Despite the incendiary remarks, Gaethje clarified that for him, the tension isn't personal, it's professional and deeply primal. He acknowledged no real hatred toward Pimblett, only the stark reality of two warriors chasing the same prize. For Gaethje, this fight is about protection as much as ambition, defending everything he sacrificed years to build. He's mentally framed Pimblett as a threat coming to take what's his, using that mindset to fuel every day of preparation. It's a fierce territorial instinct transforming his opponent into an existential challenge rather than a personal enemy. This raw primal drive ensures the fight will be fought with intensity. So, with Gage J's chilling prediction of an early career-ending finish clashing against Pimblett's unwavering self-belief, this bout transcends a mere title fight, with Gage J's calculated brutality, fueled by a primal drive to protect his legacy and exploit Pimblett's early energy burn, drag him into punishing deep waters and force grim retirement? Or will Pimblett's resolute confidence, his conviction to deliver a knockout, and belief in his superior MMA striking prove critics wrong, fulfilling a destiny he's always envisioned? This isn't just about who wins, it's about whose narrative prevails, whose will breaks, and which fighter's career changes irrevocably on fight night.